And welcome, YouTube audience. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Today we'll be talking about how the end is far and our finest days lie ahead. And the geologic strata doesn't lie, but grifters certainly do. And speaking of grifters, the oldest grift ever is the end is near. So yeah, we'll be talking about news stories, and we'll be talking about economics and space weather and earth weather and more. If you've got something to contribute, drop a comment in the chat. Started a little early today because no bike riding and a slightly different schedule than usual. So here we are. So yeah, that was the first thing I wanted to bring up, is how the end is far. I mean, we put it in the title for an obvious reason. The end is far, folks. Things just keep getting better on planet Earth, not worse. So, I mean, like everything, whether it's technology, whether it's our ability to respond to natural disasters, right? Human deaths from even just the cold, the hot, all of those sorts of things. People's access to electricity, people's ability to not be, living on 5 cents a day or whatever, right? All of this stuff is doing nothing but improving. And that's a good thing, right? There are less people with dirt floors, no electricity, and no plumbing this year than there were last year. This is just an ongoing trend, right? You are less likely to get taken out by a tsunami, by a tornado, by a hurricane. I mean, by pretty much anything, right? I mean, even buildings are getting built better to withstand earthquakes, for example, right? Everything is getting much, much less deadly, not more deadly. So I'm going to talk news stories early today because I'm waiting for the coffee to brew. So we normally start these live streams out in the kitchen, often right after the bike ride was completed. So today is One Up Day, and I'm wearing Labradorite. Yeah, Labradorite. All right, so as far as finance stuff goes, let's check out some headlines. All right, Dow futures jump more than 200 points as Wall Street heads for winning week. So a mildly uptick type market going on there for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, at least. And what else is happening? If you've got news stories you want us to cover, just drop it in the comments. And even if you're not viewing live, we do indeed read all comments, even if we're unable to respond to all comments. So we've got Lucifer 666, who states, a vampire walks into a bar and asks the bartender for a boiling glass of water. Could be hazardous for your glassware, bartender. Bartender says, I thought you vampires only drank blood. Vampire pulls out a tampon and says, I'm having tea. Nothing like some highbrow humor to kick off the morning. The real question is, was it an old tampon or was it a brand new one? And they were looking for a blood source. All right, what else do we have? Warren Buffett reveals new stake in beleaguered insurer United Health. All right, so that's interesting. Buffett must have Oh, used. Okay, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Buffett has opened a stake in United Health. Um, the beaten up United Health stock, Buffett must have determined that that is a good value. So otherwise, he wouldn't have bought it because Warren Buffett goes long on good values. That's what he does. Potential Fed chair pick David Zervos of Jefferies backs aggressive interest rate cuts. Gee, I wonder if Trump will be on board with that guy, right? And and by the way, I don't know if you know how Federal Reserve chairmans are selected, but the member banks pick a number of possible selections for Fed chairs, and then the president can pick the Fed chair. It's the whole thing is so convoluted and nonsensical. I mean, central banking. And thanks for leaving likes, everybody who has. Love that. We've got 3 viewers and 2 likes. Not half bad. Not half bad. Uh, IQ 200, a bold claim right there in the name, says download Fortnite. Well, absolutely not. You want to hear about gaming? All right, I'll tell you about gaming. I play 3 games, and only one of them I'm even like serious about, and that's Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, which I still believe is the finest game ever made. Fortnite is definitely not going to be on this list. I play FPSs, and that's it. I was playing FPSs before MySpace existed. Um, in fact, that's how the name Smash-O-Mash came into existence with FPSs. I don't play MMOs. I don't play RPGs. I'm definitely not playing Fortnite. It looks like it's good. I mean, I would probably be. It would if I had unlimited time. I might play Fortnite. I mean, I used to be a dungeon master in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Creating entire universes. So, oh, and thanks for joining us, Dirk, from very far away. And it's one of the exciting things about having a YouTube channel, folks, is you get to talk to interesting people and uninteresting people from all around the world. So, Dirk, you been doing any bike riding? I did actually 2 rides yesterday. And for all you viewers out there who are not aware, we are all over the socials. And my Instagram page, I should say our Instagram page, Smash News Network, Least Busted Name in News' Instagram page, is almost like a training log. So most of the public information that people are allowed to see about my power, my heart rate, how many miles I'm riding, all those sorts of things. As far as all the public information that goes out there, it's going to be on Instagram. So with bike racers, there are a lot of stats that we're not going to tell anybody, because if we tell people certain stats, it will expose weaknesses, and we don't want other riders to know about our weaknesses, because in competition they can use those weaknesses against us. So we you know we don't project any weakness. We just look like we're indestructible. That's how you do it. That's what you do on the bike. You you got hammered for being gay. Well, that's messed up. I mean, I don't know why. Like we've had a lot of I don't want to say homophobic, because that suggests an irrational fear of gay, but we've had quite a lot of stupid comments, because sometimes I appear on camera wearing absolutely skin tight, painted on lycra skin suits and things. So yeah, we get lots of comments about that. And let me tell you, guys who are guys who are guys who have no hair from the waist down, uh, and who go around in what amounts to really expensive underwear, uh, we're very at we're very we're very comfortable with our sexuality. So Like all of the comments about, like, we've thought about this stuff long before. You're like, you're gay because you wear lycra. What, you're wearing spandex? You must be gay. I don't know. Sorry. I guess I just don't look shitty in lycra. I mean, look, if you're scared to wear lycra in public, I don't blame you. It can be embarrassing, especially if you look, you know, like a sausage squeezed into a casing. That might not be the best case scenario. It might not be a good look for a lot of folks out there. So, yeah, sorry you're getting hammered for being gay. That's like, look, let me give you, I'm going to tell you a great gay story, all right? Because one of the great things about YouTube is storytelling, and some of us are good storytellers, all right? My friend Fredro, he has a brother called Nick, and his brother Nick is very gay. I mean, he's sort of flaming, right? He's like obviously gay. Now, yes, there are really effeminate and boisterous men who are not gay, all right? But this one is, all right? When Nick was about, I don't know, 8 years old maybe, he had a whole collection of giant dollhouses that he like built from scratch or something in the basement, like giant plotzes like you would have like with railroad sets, giant plotzes with huge dollhouses, all kinds of different ones. And he also collected Coca-Cola memorabilia. So I mean, like the dollhouses, they didn't it didn't click. He was an effeminate kid. Like, some people just seem to be born gay, folks. I don't think that it's the environment that like determines. Maybe it is. I mean, who knows? Like, maybe something happens sometime between zygote and age 8, but I don't know. I seem to think that some people might just be born gay. So I don't know why it's a problem. Like, if you're a dude, right? Think about this from a dude's perspective. Let's say you're a straight man, like most men. You're you're a straight guy, right? If you like, you don't like gays. Why don't you like gays? That just takes guys out of the heterosexual dating pool. You don't want less people. I mean, what? Like, I don't understand it. I mean, you should take it as a compliment if a gay guy hits on you. Also, like, why is it an insult? Like, are you that scared that you're gonna like suck a dick that you you don't want to be hit on by a gay guy, which puts you like not on the heterosexual side of the continuum of gay to straight? So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's like people don't think things through to the logical conclusion. So that's the kind of results you get. People people opening their face and really stupid stuff coming out, and who calls them on it? I don't know. It's bonkers. By the way, if you are into crypto, I definitely don't want to talk to you about crypto. However, I will say this: Stellar Lumens, XLM, Stellar Lumens. That's the thing. It's down 1 cent from yesterday. Yesterday we reported it was at 44 cents. Today it's only at 43 cents. Stellar Lumens, XLM. It's part of the Ethereum blockchain. And I won't explain like what it does, because some of the crypto isn't just meme coins. Some crypto actually has a function. So XLM, it actually does have a function, but I'm not going to like talk about it. You can follow us on Twitter. Stellar Lumens is on Twitter, so you could do that. And you'll find the links below this video in the description. And feel free to follow us on Discord as well. And that brings me to another important announcement. There's a new channel coming. There's a new channel and a new podcast, and a new podcast for this channel. So yeah, we're starting a podcast on this channel called The Ball Banger's Head. Um, yeah, The Ball Banger's Head. That's right. And it's based on the old Headbangers Ball show on MTV. You know, if you ever saw that back in the like late '80s, early '90s, hosted by Ricky Rathman, whatever his name is. And it's gonna be a show where we just talk about metal. You know, we like sit there and we watch a metal video, and like I'm gonna be one of the hosts. and I believe my friend Ryan McKinnon's going to be a host, and we're just gonna pass it back and forth. We're gonna say, what about this? What about this metal song and video? And then we're gonna like watch it, comment on it, talk about whatever we want, and eat desserts on Saturday nights. So that's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be early Saturday nights, like 7, 8 o'clock. Probably streamed live, and it's gonna be on this channel, SNN, the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. So that's one. And then the other one is going to be the Misidentified podcast, which that's a completely different format. That will take place. It'll also be hosted on the Discord channel. And you can find the links to the Discord channel 2 clicks away there. The homepage, smashomash.com, is below here. And there's a permanent invite link to the Discord channel over there. So, when we do YouTube live streams, there is a live YouTube live stream chat for that. So that'll be where we'll host where we host the Ball Banger's Head. And Misidentified podcast is completely different. That's actually going to be hosted by Smash staff. And that's going to be about women's horror stories. So I'll just be there behind the scenes. I'll be acting like Jamie on the Joe Rogan podcast. And let me get to your comments here. I see there are some more comments, and thanks for leaving comments, viewers. Again, I will get to them in just a moment. So yeah, some new stuff coming down the pipeline that we are super excited about. Now, what else do we have to cover? Well, we're going to talk about Earth weather and space weather, but I think the coffee is actually done. So yeah, join us on Discord. If you ever want to send me an instant message, like if you're like, oh no, is the world ending today? Somebody on YouTube told me that I should be spooked because there's a coronal hole. Or I should be spooked because the galaxy is very dangerous. Oh no, the galaxy. You can just send me an instant message, and I can talk you off the ledge in real time. Often, I'm pretty responsive to people, as our longtime viewers would probably attest. So yeah, what do we have? We have the S&P roughly flat, the NASDAQ roughly flat, the Dow Jones Industrial Average roughly flat. So it's pretty boring day on Wall Street, looking like so far. You never know. Good news, bad news comes out. But, largely most of the stuff is priced into the market right now. So I think the Fed's going to drop interest rates before the year ends. That's going to cause an even larger inflation of the bubble that we have right now, especially in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is a giant bubble. And the valuations, and when I say valuations, I mean price to earnings ratios. The valuations are like as out of sync with reality as they were in the late 1990s. So in like 1999, we had the tech bubble burst, and the NASDAQ looks just like that. It looks just like it. I think it's actually even slightly more overvalued than it was in 1999. So yeah, I mean, look, what happens to bubbles? They burst. What can you say? There's a lot of overvalued junk stocks in there. There's a lot of pioneers in II, which I refuse to call AI. I mean, it's II, or you could say it's NI, right? Artificial intelligence. The only thing that's artificial is that it's intelligence. It's more like II, imaginary intelligence, or NI, not intelligence. Large language models, they're not intelligent. Look at what they do. Allow them to go 2 steps by themselves. They will step right off of a cliff. All right, more news headlines for you here. What do we got? What's exciting going on? Well, there's a new DEA boss, Terry Cole. He's the DEA Emergency Police Chief. Drone strikes coming to the U.S. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Your local Mexican cartel member may be hit by a Hellfire missile from a drone strike right on U.S. soil. Just kidding, folks. Just kidding, folks. No known drone strikes on U.S. soil yet. Give it some time. Give it some time. We'll get there. We'll get there. Trump told Norwegian minister he wants Nobel Prize. Hunter Biden's colorful response to Melania Trump's Epstein lawsuit threat. Well, that sounds exciting. New blood pressure guidelines recommend an earlier start to treatment. Who would have guessed? All right, let's check some other less viewed news sources. I like to check out extremetech.com. That's a good one if you're into things like technology. Of course, we stay up on technology a bit here on the channel because we have to use it to make the content. And sometimes it can be a sticky situation. What do we have? What do we have? Trump pushes for deregulation of rocket launches. Radar used to eavesdrop on cell phones from up to 10 feet away. That's an interesting one. YouTube trials AI age verification in the U.S. to hide adult content from younger viewers. All right. Cool, I guess. What about the ultra-massive black hole that could rewrite the history of the universe? That sounds interesting. So this particular galactic core is 36 billion times the sun's mass. 36 billion solar masses, known as Ton 618. It may actually be the largest, most massive galactic core that we've ever spotted. Ton 618, T-O-N space 618. Turns out this discovery could shed light on one of the core mysteries of the primordial universe. And I would take exception to that because is there a primordial universe? I mean, is that even a thing? Is the universe just eternal? Is the dating of the universe complete nonsense? How come we have stars that seem to be older than the entire universe? Anybody? Anybody? Metallicity matters. Yeah, metallicity. In cosmology, every element that is to the right of helium on the periodic chart, so lithium and everything else besides hydrogen and helium are considered metals because of the way stars are believed to synthesize the elements. Let's see. How does it break cosmology? Well, let me guess. It doesn't make any sense that a galaxy could be that massive at the location it is, right? Because it's probably really far away. Let's see what it says. Usually it's because of distance. You know, like usually the surprise with discoveries of this nature are that, wow, it's really far away. How is it so evolved? It seems like it must be older than it could possibly be. In many ways, physicists can use the distance of an object as a way to look back in time, to see the state of the universe when their readings were first emitted. The further those emissions have been traveling, the older they are, right? If it's 1 billion light years away, you're seeing light from 1 billion years ago. You're seeing what that star or galaxy was doing 1 billion years ago, right? The interesting thing about this reading is that it shows an enormous black hole at the center of a relatively small number of stars, and it shows that this existed long ago. So if stars came first, then we would expect that older galaxies would have greater star to singularity ratios, perhaps even finding some very, very old star clusters with no black hole at all. Instead, this reading shows a very old galaxy with a lower ratio of star mass to black hole mass. It suggests that the black hole may have come first and that in the distant past, it had not yet acquired many stars around itself. Are galactic cores giving birth to all the stars in the galaxy? That would be weird. That's something we've certainly never seen happen. Uh, we've never seen a star just kind of pop out of a black hole. We've seen stars get torn apart by supermassive black holes. So that's a thing, you know, and gravitational waves. I guess that's a controversial thing. And hey, welcome viewers. We've been streaming for a while here. We're up to 15 now, but only 7 likes. So tisk tisk, tisk tisk. You haven't pressed the like button. Allow me to scold all of our viewers. All right, let me get to the chat here. I see some comments have come through. Dirk says, hello, Daniel, and thanks for the video. Bro, you're welcome. I mean, we did a live stream yesterday while riding the bike. Some of you may have liked that. It was some gorgeous scenery and just chilling with our favorite pals on YouTube from all around the world. Our favorite friends and our favorite foes and our favorite neutrals. Cheers. What do we have? I know I've just joined the live, but I subbed. Hey, thanks, Meme Dude 2025. That's a vote of confidence there. We'll be putting out all kinds of different stuff on the channel, and I'm sure you'll love it. Thora says, sex is sex. Enjoy it, whatever you do. Yeah, I know, right? Like, geez, you like. I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem that anybody has with the gay is. It's just weird to me. It's just weird. Like, why are you so concerned about it? It's like, it's almost like people that are like overly concerned about your soul, right? Like, why are you that worried about my soul? Like, how many sins have I done, right? Like, do I gotta repent? But from what? Like, how do you know I even did anything in the anywhere near recent past that was sinful, right? Like, what? Which commandments have I violated? I gotta repent today. The end is near. Repent today. Like, the end is definitely not near. And like, repent on your repent on your own good time. Like, if you've discovered that you did something wrong, like, try to make it right. Like, that, wow, what a crazy idea. Most religions of the world, like, do things like follow the golden rule. And thanks for all of the emojis. I appreciate that. Yeah, Meme Dude 2025, our latest subscriber, perhaps. Welcome to the channel. I mean, we will talk about anything on this channel. So a little bit about the channel since you're new. We are real censorship advocates, not free speech phonies. We're actual free speech advocates. All right. We encourage any kind of speech that's not illegal. So please don't do anything illegal in the chat, and please don't spam. But beyond that, like, say whatever you want. It's not going to hurt my feelings. My skin is very thick. I started skateboarding in 3rd grade. All right. I've fallen down on asphalt, wood, concrete, stairs, ramp copings, tens of thousands of times. Then I became a mountain bike racer in 1997. So I crashed bikes at least hundreds of times, probably thousands. And then I started racing road in 2001. Crashed plenty of times on the road. And then I started racing track a couple years later. Crashed many a times on the track. And I crashed once on the track, actually. But the point is, I've crashed many, many times. So my skin is very, very thick, both literally and figuratively. But we're free speech advocates. The answer to dumb speech is smart speech, not silence the person. Because when you silence the person, they think that they've become a digital martyr. All right? You're not a digital martyr just because you got banned or muted or something like that. You're just a victim of censorship. So there are plenty of YouTube channels out there that will mute their own viewers. Like, that's crazy. What? Why would you mute your own viewers? I mean, if they're trying to correct you on things that you're objectively wrong about, you should like embrace that and then move on. Because if you're objectively wrong about a thing, shouldn't your goal to be objectively right about a thing? I mean, what the hell? Like, muting me in the comments is not going to make you right. It's just going to make you an asshole. So, so what? YouTube content creators and people on Twitter that mute everybody that even like mentions them. What the hell is that all about? Like, if you're a public figure and you can't handle criticism, you should stop being a public figure. Like, you're a hack. Oh man, I forgot to drink my water chug. So hey, we're down in the kitchen now, which is where these usually start. And check it out, I gotta re-stir my beet juice because I didn't drink it all. So if you're wondering what it is, it's beet juice, turmeric. I mean, it's ground beetroot, turmeric, cayenne pepper, a little bit of iodized salt, some lemon juice, and some water. So that's the morning chug. And the vitamins that I took today are B complex, calcium, vitamin D, A-Reds, which is like an eye health thing by Bausch and Lomb, and fish oil and choline inositol. Yeah, choline inositol. So there's the rest of my 32-ounce morning chug. Right before I start drinking coffee. And by the way, the beetroot, it might not make you stronger, but it might make you veinier, if that makes sense. All right, so just going to pour some coffee here for Smash Staff and I before she heads off to work. And I'll be ending this stream before she heads off to work as well. But, yeah. So, and this one's not going to last a whole lot longer because we don't see a lot of exciting stuff going on in terms of space weather and Earth weather. But we'll see what's going on. We'll report on things like the sunspot number and the radio flux and a couple other things. So we'll get right on that here as I head back to SNN Studio. And pardon the guerrilla filming. You know, we've been doing these live streams on a mobile device, and they've been getting a lot more traction than if we make more produced live streams on the computer. So blame the algorithm. All right. What else do we have? Ed Cycling. Hey, thanks for coming back, Ed Cycling. By the way, where are you located? If you have never ridden the Lehigh Valley, come Lehigh Valley and do a ride. Let us know. Hit us up on Discord. Maybe we can ride together. It's fun times. I do ride for the largest club in the valley, so it is possible to get me to do public events. It just helps to have a few days notice, you know, because if I have like 1 day's notice, chances are my training is not going to allow it. But if I have like a week's notice, it's usually pretty easy for me to do whatever ride you've got planned. You know, try to keep it under 50 miles and I'll be fine. Dirk says, no one is born gay, it's environment controlled. Well, you definitely don't have proof of that. And just so you know, why I'm comfortable saying this is because I was a psych major in college. I took 83% of the core classes for a bachelor's of science in psychology. So I took all the classes except clinical and the job placement thing. Like I basically took all the classes, like all of the major subject matter. I already took it. Um, so yeah, if no one is born gay and it's environment controlled, then that's not a known thing. So like you say it's called classical conditioning, but the scientific clinical studies do not agree with you. We're not sure about that, but it certainly looks like. In fact, there may even be some sort of physical trait, uh, but I don't want to comment on that because I would be commenting from a place of ignorance. So I don't. You should probably research that one there, Dirk. Um, it's definitely not categoric. It's not an objective fact that gay is environment controlled. Detour Chronicle says, just wanted to send some what's up and hey Detour Chronicles. Thanks for tuning in. Must be one. Are you one of those bike tube type folks? You know, bike tube is huge and it's only getting bigger, baby. I mean, the sport of cycling, it doesn't stop growing. It it went bonkers in 2020 because of the lockdowns and so on and you know, travel restrictions and all that. And then it came down a little bit, but guess what? Now it's back up to exceeding the 2020 levels. So it's, you know, there's a graph of popularity of the sport just like anything else. Um, and yeah, it's back on the uptrend again. So 2020 created massive supply shortages, and tariffs actually have created all kinds of supply shortages once again. So like that's not good for the industry. Tariffs have screwed up the industry. In fact, part of the reason I even have that jersey is because tariffs instantly prevented me from buying some things that I wanted to get. So I had to like scramble and get like different designs made, and it was a huge pain. All right. When a tariff gets applied to a thing like Shimano bike parts, do you think a Shimano factory just materializes in the US somewhere? That is not how it works. What happens is shortages, higher prices. Everybody can charge an arm and a leg for the stuff that they still have in stock. And it's a disaster. Tariffs tariffs reduce jobs. They create some jobs in your crony companies. All right. Derpinson says, "What are you squawking about?" Uh, okay. Okay. Dirk says, "Crypto is getting pumped and dumped. It's a business. Crypto is the future of currency. Get smart or miss the bus." Well, that's total nonsense, Dirk. So with respect to your first comment, crypto is getting pumped and dumped just like any other speculative investment, like OTC stocks. You know, penny stocks, the ones that cost like less than a dollar. I mean, crypto is no different than any other speculative investment. Like how is it different? How is crypto the future of currency? That's nonsense. Crypto is not the future of currency. The future of currency is currency that has actual backing. That's the future of currency. The blockchain does not increase the value of your crypto. The blockchain reduces the value of your crypto. For everybody out there who thinks that you can get away with crime and get paid for it because crypto, you don't understand how crypto works. There are what, 9 computers that are required in order for you to do a transaction? Guess what that does? Creates a massive digital trail. I mean, like, what? Oh my gosh, it's so stupid. The blockchain is a liability, not an asset. Because, first of all, what happens when the power goes out? Hmm? Hmm? Are you familiar with the story about Dutch tulips? The price of anything, folks, is based on what people will pay for it. So if you want to know how much you can charge for a Super Mario Bros. Hat, or for a Super Mario Bros. Shirt? The answer is however much people are willing to pay for it. So any speculative investment, when it's popular, it's worth however much somebody will pay for it. However, what if it becomes unpopular? So the story of Dutch tulips is that people lost their homes because they bought tulips that cost so much money, and then the market collapsed, and then the Dutch tulips went from worth as much as an entire house to worth what a Dutch tulip bulb used to cost. And like that's a great story because crypto is Dutch tulips. There is no underlying value to practically any cryptocurrency except the money that's invested into it. It's a giant pyramid scheme. This is why everybody that invests in crypto is constantly trying to get other people to buy the crypto because it's not like a stock. A stock is actual ownership of a part of a company. Many stocks, even, all the major stocks, they print earnings. Many of them pay dividends. That you vote on stuff that goes on in the company. They send you a prospectus. Like, that's actual ownership of a part of a company. A meme coin is not anything. Like, I don't know how people don't understand this, but like crypto is the exact opposite of a commodity. So people are like, crypto is digital gold. It definitely isn't digital gold. It's not even in the same realm. Gold is a physical material that's rare and can be used to make stuff like circuitry that never corrodes. You ever hear of Phoenix Gold amplifiers? There's a company called Phoenix Gold that makes very high-end amplifiers for your car audio especially. And they use gold in the circuitry to increase the lifespan of their amps. Silver, silver's got antiseptic properties. Copper, right? Like these things all have actual value. Cryptocurrency can never be money, all right? Just the same way that paper money can never be money. Because if the definition of money is that it has to be fungible, it has to have intrinsic value, and it has to be accepted as a means of trade. Gold has had those features and silver has had those features for thousands of years. All right? And it still has those features. Crypto does not have those features. It's fungible. Okay, yeah, you can sell a fraction of a Bitcoin. All right, it's got that. Intrinsic value? No intrinsic value. What is it? People will say it's the blockchain. The blockchain is not intrinsic value. The blockchain is a huge waste of power. Like your basic bank transactions are 128-bit encrypted. That's so secure that it would take like 1 billion years for it to be cracked using a supercomputer. Like what? So yeah, and it's not accepted as, it's becoming more accepted as a means of exchange, but crypto really isn't like accepted as a means of exchange. You like go to Walmart.com and try to order something and pay with your crypto. You got to have an OTF. Like what the hell? Like people don't even know what money is, but they want to give you advice. They want to talk to you about crypto, bro. It's total nonsense, dude. Like paper money is not, paper currency is not money. Crypto is not money. Gold is money. Silver is money. Does anybody have any copper coins? Like that would make sense. Melissa Olson says, I'm new. I subscribed and liked this. Well, thanks. I love it. Cheers. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. We love seeing new viewers and comments. So thanks for leaving one. We will not let you down. This channel will call balls and strikes forever. All right. The day I stop calling balls and strikes and being objective about stuff is the day that I'm out. I'm done. I'm brown bread. It's not happening, is my point. Hey there, all the sun. Flamin' hearts to you too. Audrey Durham says, I hope so because I'm ready to buy. When I was born, interest rates were 18%. Oh, okay. Now you're dating yourself. You must be a little older than me. You were born in 74. That's my guess. 1972. That's when you were born, Audrey. That's my guess. I smacked my elbow. And that was suboptimal because my elbow hurts. And that's not good because when I'm on the time trial bike, my elbows are on the armrests and we can't have that. All right. What do we have here? Larry Cole says, to the core Vizbek KM. Hey, thanks for commenting. All the Sun says, shite in, shite out. Yeah, garbage in, garbage out, right? That's an important thing to understand. And there's definitely a lot of garbage AI. AI, garbage in, garbage out. Yes. If you don't know what garbage in, GIGO, it's a term common among programmers, and it means if you put in garbage code, you get garbage output. Garbage code leads to garbage output. Garbage variables in your code leads to garbage output. Garbage in, garbage out. It's the way programs work. And it's the reason why large language models are not intelligence, because they don't know, they have no discernment. A large language model has exactly zero discernment except what programmers tell it to discern. They don't have any natural discernment. There's no natural anything. They're just code on top of code on top of code on top of code, bigger and bigger code libraries controlling bigger and bigger code functions. Like it's not intelligence. It's just more sophisticated programs. We're eventually going to get to the point where we just have to settle for the fact that AI is not intelligent. It's just sophisticated enough to fool the average person into thinking that it's intelligent. That's what's going on. All right. AI should be called II or NI. Imaginary intelligence or not intelligence. Our viewers have intelligence. Some of them are even smart. But large language models definitely do not have intelligence. It's not even, I mean, there's no debate to even be had about it. There's no argument to be made that they have intelligence. It's just ridiculous. And the pioneers in AI are ridiculous. So like Tesla, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, some of those are better than other ones. But they're all pioneers in just like discrediting themselves. It's ridiculous. Dirk says Buffett sold off pretty much all stocks to hold cash, buy real estate default. That is not what Buffett did at all. He sidelined $330 million because he's foreseeing the NASDAQ bubble bursting. He did not sell off pretty much all stocks to hold cash. What the hell are you talking about, dude? Like, go to Berkshire Hathaway's website or something. That is not what he did at all. To the core, Vizbek KM says, I also told Norway not to get the mobile price, and he agreed. You talking about Trump requesting the Nobel Prize? How many people request the Nobel Prize? And which one? The Nobel Peace Prize, I guess? Oh, isn't there a summit going on today in Alaska? You would think that would be important news. So let's get back to news and then cover space and then cover Earth. Well, I'll cover Earth weather. I'll do space weather last. All right, how's that? I'll do space weather last. Bitcoin and bullion dumped as hot PPI prompts plunge in bonds. Oh, who cares? Southern states have lowest average incomes. DC, the highest. Would that be because of tax dollars being wasted on government officials? I couldn't imagine that being the case. The government doesn't waste any money. It's impossible. Knife crime in Germany surges, with foreigners heavily overrepresented in latest figures. Let us know if you'd like to stab someone, folks. I mean, stabbings, they just seem very unseemly. I mean, it seems like stabbing somebody is like should be lower on the list than punching somebody. Maybe kicking. I think kicking somebody is up here. Punching somebody is slightly lower because you might hurt your hand, and then stabbing somebody is way lower because you're going to get their disgusting blood on yourself and your knife probably. And who wants that? Weirdos. That's who. Weirdos. ETH ever homo treasury buying visualizing the world's largest AI corp. Oh, the visualizing the world's AI compute hubs. That sounds interesting. Let's see what all the pioneers in NI are doing right now. You know, not intelligence. So the US has 26 compute hubs, and China and Hong Kong have 24 AI compute hubs. Or you should say II compute hubs. Cut me a break. Audrey Durham says, do you think silver will stop being suppressed? I don't know what that means, but it's definitely not being suppressed. It's a commodity, so it's not being suppressed in any way of it's being suppressed in the same way that oil or wheat or pork bellies or anything like it's not being suppressed. What does that even mean? Do I think it will stop? Silver is definitely not being suppressed. You might not be able to buy any because there might be a shortage because of the price, and there might just be a supply shortage regardless of the price. But yeah, I mean, how would you suppress a commodity? That's not a thing. Rewrite the history of the universe. Yeah, the history of the universe is a very tenuous subject indeed. Age of the universe is something that is becoming increasingly unlikely to be able to be calculated. We keep seeing farther and farther into the past, and I don't know. Aubrey Durham says, because we're a multiverse. Yeah, we might be a multiverse. I mean, that might explain some things, because there are some weird things that might be explained by a multiverse, but I wouldn't really conjecture too much about it. Because look, anything that can't be tested, proven, or disproven, and look, multiverse theory might be able to be proven or disproven. If you could go to a different universe, would you consider it? It'd be pretty scary, right? But yeah, maybe there is a multiverse. Maybe there are an infinite number of universes overlapping the one that we're in right now that are somehow phase shifted or something like you'd see in Star Trek. Who knows? Or maybe there are really weird universes that are nothing like this, that aren't just different timelines, but are completely different weird stuff. That could be a thing. To the core, Vizbek KM says, we don't. We just can't see far enough. Yeah, I mean, you can only see a certain distance. So we don't know what's beyond the distance, right? SV Thora Sailing says, eat more pork fats to feed the brain. Keep the mineral salts up. You know what you're doing. Thanks. Kieran says, Jesus or Trump? Oh, geez. Jesus or Trump? What kind of choice is that? I'll take Jesus over Trump, because Trump is now officially a politician, and Jesus had some brilliant ideas. So, yeah, I'll pick Jesus over Trump any day. Not a tough choice, um, because I'm not going to endorse a politician, probably ever. I'm super critical of politicians, and I pretty much always have been. I mean, the economy has been hurt by politicians since for decades. So there's that. And Smash Staff is telling me bye for some reason. I don't know what that means. I thought I was actually taking her to work, but now she's just waving bye, whispering bye for some reason. So when do you want to go? Okay, all right. Well, that's real convenient and very proactive of you. Cheers. Pardon my sarcasm. OK Maine says I'm driving my truck around the block looking for bike riders. Oh, are you? Well, what are you going to do when you find them? I mean, that doesn't really sound like a very valid threat or anything. So, okay. What are you, a cycling groupie? Don't try to fondle them when they're on the bikes. I know they're sexy, but don't try to fondle them. We can see the universe 14 billion years, and then the light can't reach us anymore, but there should be an echo. OK Maine says, are you bisexual? I am as far to the heterosexual side of the continuum as you could possibly get. There's a continuum from gay to straight, and I'm way over on the straight side. Okay? Like, zero interest in dudes. Dudes, I find, to quote Jerry Seinfeld, repugnant and unappealing. Like, dudes, not hot. Chicks, real hot. I know, right? To the core says, I like gays. More pussy for me. Colby Jack says, if you watch porn, steal, cheat, drink alcohol, smoke weed, you shall repent. Plenty of examples. Closed minds won't understand. All right. Preach. Preach, yo. You do you. It's all good. OK Maine says he looks like Jeffrey Epstein. Who, me? I look like Jeffrey Epstein? Are you shitting me? Dan Carter says, did you fall on your head as a baby as well? Um, Probably. Colby Jack says people steer clear from common sense, the truth, and they always just talk off topic to avoid the truth and accountability. I'll be right with you. So I'm going to end the stream early because Smash Staff just out of the blue just decides to like be passive aggressive. So yeah, and now she's still complaining. So but I'm going to drive her to work because she expects me to, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Timing has sucked all day today. So I'm not even going to cover space weather or earth weather. I'm just going to end this stream. So, all right. Yeah, but yeah, thanks new subscribers. Thanks everybody who's tuned in. Maybe I will stream later, perhaps on lunch. And if somebody's been spamming, I see that. Watch yourself because it's not appreciated. Wow, and lots of comments, by the way. Thanks everybody for leaving so many comments. I appreciate that. But I'm going to have to end this one early. Yeah, fantastic. Stellar Lumens XLM. That's will you make money on it? I have no idea. Do I own a bunch of it? I own a small token investment of it. It's the only crypto that I own enough to even mention. I own tiny, tiny amounts of some other cryptos, but Stellar Lumens, I have a little bit of tiny amount of cash in there. Wow, so many comments. Thanks for commenting, Gothric and the Jim 420 and Melissa Olson and everybody else. Read The Creature of Jekyll Island. Yes, that will really help you understand economics. If you understand how banking works, it will make a huge difference. And remember, the stock market is not the economy. The government. Diddy's in the house. Diddy's in the house. Diddy, are you oiled up? Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing I do is I oil up with drug and I put roofies. I put roofies in my baby oil so that, it calms me down enough that I can do a stream like this without raging at you people. Anyway, yeah, maybe another stream coming a little later today on lunch. I think I'm going to sort of take a rest day today. Thanks for the super chats. Whoever left the super chats, thanks very much for that. We always do appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. And I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-A-Mash. And until next time we put up some content for you here, folks, may that solar wind be at your back.